Hi guys, very good evening to you. This video will talk about the dashboard making, and if you're not aware, if you're new who is watching this my channel for the first time, let me just actually tell you that recently I have started this dashboard making series, and you can go to my YouTube channel. When you're actually watching my video, go to my name Ajay Kumar, which is my channel name, and then there click on the playlist and you'll get this dashboard making the playlist, and you click on this dashboard making your this the link, and you'll get to see two videos right now, which both the videos are different, and I have actually talked about how basically you can get the idea of preparing the front page of your this dashboard. So when I say the front page, I exactly means that where you give all the summary of your exactly the raw data in a very neat and clean manner and in a very user interactive way, right? So please watch out for those videos, very classy videos, and this is again in a continuation of that series, and I'll keep on uploading some more videos again, and I'm getting a very good response on the charts and the pivots playlist, so please do watch that as well in case if you're watching it for the first time. In fact, so far I have uploaded like somewhere around 85-90 videos, and you can watch any video over there to my playlist. It talks about the VBA, it talks about the Excel, it talks about pivots and charts, it talks about super dynamic array formulas, it talks about even some very difficult kind of questions which we have talked about. So I think every video will give you actually a good learning, so it's not going to be a wastage of time, right? So in an effort to make you awesome in the dashboards, which I receive a lot of requests from my subscribers, from people who haven't subscribed but still they found my videos very attractive, and especially from my own students who get trained by me on VB and Excel. So it's always a dream for a person who works on Excel, how to make the dynamic dashboards, right? So that's why in order to uh, you know make you awesome and to give you that kind of a confidence and to really make you feel that dashboards are exactly not tough if you know the basics. If your basics are clear, if your foundation is very strong on Excel, then dashboards are really, I mean, they are just nothing. They look very difficult, they look very sophisticated, but the way you actually make them, it is actually quite simple, right? So let's start this video today, and in this video I'm gonna talk about this. I have pasted this raw data, right, which has some banking names. It could be your company, client A, client B, client C, and client D, and so on, and they have these matrices, the business matrices. It could be if you are from a BPO industry, it could be call answered, service level, average handling time, or if you are from some FMG sector, then it might be product sold, product item number, the product code number, and the forecast, so whatever I mean to say. So you just need to get actually the technique. You don't go by this raw. So what I've done is I've gathered this raw data, and it starts from the 1st Jan of this year, and it goes till as you can see here, it keeps on going, and it has the entire data for this 31st December. So I'm assuming that, let's say, that we have all the data. But however, this if you are like today, that the time when I'm recording this video, it's 6th of June. So obviously after 6th of June there will be no data, right? So you can definitely delete it. I have just prepared it so that you can actually get a good amount of idea that how the dashboards are actually being prepared. So maybe so this is the idea is to put the raw on daily basis. Like for example, right now we have this 6th of June. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete this entire data like this, and I'll delete it, right? So this is vacant, and I have used here +1, as you can see here. So it is just going to take me a moment to drag this formula like this. Suppose if I delete this, and now today when you come to the office and it's 7 June, what you need to do is you simply need to actually paste this, and it is going to give you the 7 June, and you need to paste value these numbers against these banks, right? So that's how you keep on going, you keep on moving forward as your day keep on passing. The new day comes and you keep on adding the new data, right? So let me just undo it. So let's say this data is exactly, let's say maybe for the 2014, right, or whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna change anything. So as you can see here, this is exactly a very simple data. It has all the banks and all the matrices against bank, and a very good amount of numbers against these all the banks one by one, right? So this is how I have created. So if you are asking me how I have, what exactly I have done is I have just simply put in the date here, and then what I did is in this G3 cell I said F3 plus 1, so it is going to add up the date. So the moment if I change this to 2014, let's say, this data will entirely be changed to 2014, right? So that's the trick. I just need to enter the date. For example, if I enter this with the 1st of Feb, you see that this will start with the Feb, right? So you really don't have to drag and drop. So I have already done that kind of a calculation. So I'm writing it back to my this January. And how I have done this, this is quite simple. Maybe I can take this sheet, and so what I did is I did something like this. I said that that's my bank A, and here I have let's say these are the matrices A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. So I have just selected this entire range, and I've said merge in center. So it has actually merged in all this stuff, and then you click on this middle align, so you'll get your this text somewhere in the middle, right? And then according to your choice, you can even give the color in case if you want to give the color, right? And similarly then I have written here the date. This is my date, let's say, and I have simply said that +1 to it, and then drag the formula like this, and you will get all the dates, right? So just select this and double click on it so that it should be out of it, right? So that's the data. And once I have this kind of a table, what I did is again go back here and I pasted it, and I pasted it again, and this is going to be bank B, this is going to be bank C. So the good thing about this is that every table, like for example in this bank A, the number of rows I have used is 6. So similarly in the bank B, I have used the 6 rows. So this should be actually uniform, because sometimes when you work with the VLOOKUP or on the index formulas, your data, if the correctness is not there, if the uniformity is not there, it may create a problem. So always try to create a good balance between the tables. Like for example, if you're creating here 2 rows, the blank rows, so you should actually create 2 rows blank here as well. That's a I mean, it's a very basic rule. Actually, it might not be a compulsion, because I don't know what exactly the data a dashboard you're going to create, but I always keep these things in mind, that to structure the data points in a very uniform way, right? So this is what I have done. And then you might be wondering that I have used this kind of a different kind of a color, right? So every alternate row has a different color, and so that's quite easy. Actually, you really don't have to work hard on that. What you can do is, like for example, you can even create I'm just giving you this kind of example. You select this and give this border. Generally people give this border, but I don't like actually these grid lines. So what I do is I make it actually little light, so I go to this move border option, and under move border option, what I do is I select this kind of a line format. Again, it depends upon your choice. How do you want to see the data? And I select this, let's say like this, and I click here, and these are the lines which will be created. So I'll get this kind of a format, right? Which is, and you can of course remove the grid lines, because I really don't like the grid lines, right? So this is how you can actually prepare this, and you can use whatever the font you want to use. I'm a huge fan of Arial, so maybe I can go with the Arial, or maybe I can go with the Arial black if they are the headers, some sort of this thing, right? And I can actually again double click here, and so this is how your the point of putting the raw data is prepared. So you can prepare this sheet. Similarly, just select this entire sheet and come over here and just say that format. So it is going to actually format the entire thing for you, right? If you want, you can even freeze the pane, so that when going down you can actually take a look. So I can say that freeze pane, so I'm gonna freeze this. So what will happen is, if I move down, if I keep on moving like across columns, my bank will remain as it is there, and I can view it, and if I go down, my matrices, my dates would be there, so I can view them, right? So that's a good thing. You can always on this freeze pane option. Now this data is created, and let's say you have finally created this kind of a data, right? And if you want to give this kind of a color effect, this is quite simple actually. If I select this table, and what I can do is maybe I can like for example, I select this table and I say that insert table, let's say for example. So this is gonna create my this table, and I press yes, and this is how these actually rows will be created. So I'll just remove this. So I use this option, insert table, and from here what you can do is you can even design whatever the color format you want to design. This is how so in fact it looks more attractive than this, right? I think I have used this might have used actually single colors like this, sort of these colors like, and then what I did is I simply went ahead and I think I did this step. I just don't remember, but this is how you can do it. Once you have all the colors, so what you can do is you can simply paste it like this. I'm not a huge fan of tables, which I've just created actually, so maybe that's your choice, how do you want to create it, but I simply prefer this kind of a color. So maybe here you want something else, so you can choose this cell and you can give this some another light color, maybe sort of, let's say, this color, right? And now just copy this and do this formatting, right? So now just copy this and format this, so you'll get a different kind of a colors, right? So anyways, that's your choice, whatever way you want to create. This is just this is going to be used only for the data entry, so we'll not do much over here. So I have created the data. Now I want to prepare a dashboard, right? So I want to prepare a dashboard something like this, look at this, right? I have created a drop down here for the week, and whatever the week I will select, these dates will be changed here accordingly. And this month, if I need to know that what exactly is my parameter values on that, by the end of that month I can even drop down from here and I can choose the month. So if I choose Jan, it will be actually a Jan month, and then I should actually get there quarter 1 Jan, and these quarter values are different. This is exactly quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So that's a kind of a front page you can prepare it, right? So it's quite easy. What I did is I simply did some kind of a color formatting, and over here I have created some drop downs by using this Alt DL, and by using this range where I've created all the dates. I have written all the dates. If you're not aware about the data validation, do watch my videos on the by going to the Excel video. You'll see a lot of drop down options there, and here as well again I have created these drop downs, right? So just to be quick, what I did is exactly I did this. I went to the Alt DL and data validation, and I went to the list and I enter here like this, Jan, Feb, March, April, and so on, and I pressed OK. Once you have the OK, they will be available over here. Or either you can do one thing, you can even, instead of writing it, if you have some source, maybe you can actually, let's say if you have written some values here, you can use this source as well, right? So it's let me just remove this bracket. So now it is blank because you haven't written anything. So if I write here Jan, maybe Feb, maybe March, now the font is the white, you can do this, and if you come here you'll get all this. March, I think it started from the B14, so that's why it is not picking the upper value, so you can delete them like this, and so on. That's the option. So this is how I actually created the drop down. It's quite easy. And then what I did is I used these kind of colors. I used, let's say I used this color, and then I made it bold, and maybe I reduced the this font, and I maybe given this kind of a font, and then the borderline you can give, of course you can go to the this draw border, more border, or maybe the draw border, whatever the option you have. So I'll choose, let's say, the yellow color, and I'm gonna choose this line style, which is, let's say, this one, right, the thick one, right? So now I can drag this like this, and as you can see here that it is going to give a this kind of effect, right? So this is how I have just created. So that was just for your information. So let me just redo it, undo it. All right, so let's say we are set here, and this is the arrow which I have created here. That's, again, you might be more creative than me. That's not the point, right? Because I know that I'm very poor in actually the creativity, right? So and pardon me for that, but I'm just trying to help you. You can use these insert shapes as well, whatever shapes you want to use. If you want to use this kind of a arrow box, you can use this kind of a arrow box as well, right? And you can give whatever the color you want to give it. We have a different colors and very beautiful actually color combinations in Excel 2007 onwards. So that's what you can do. So let me just delete it. Now the point is that how we created this dashboard. So I just did nothing. I wrote here all the headers which are required for the Banky, not the every header, right? Like as you can see here, you have insurance, you have investment, profit, fixed deposit, and there are blah 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 things. So whatever the options you need actually, so you have just added it. And this is something which I've already explained you how you can create this, right? So this is more of a creativity. What I did is special is that I linked this cell with this value. So whatever the user is going to select in this date, like if it is going to select 1st of Jan, this 1st of Jan will be here, right? Because as you can see here, I have simply linked this cell with the C3. So whatever the user will he will want to see the date, he can select the date, and this date will have the value, and then moving forward we'll have all the dates. Like after this is a you can say the weekly kind of a dashboard, right? So I've added simply +7 to it, so that this 1st Jan, and you can do one thing. I just thought that why not to give it a this kind of a format. It will look nice. So whatever the date you'll say that it you'll select, it'll appear here, and then so on, it is going to add 7 to it, and this is how your entire week, 4 weeks of period will be selected here. So if user is interested in maybe looking for, let's say, for 8th of January, so you select the 8th of January, and then this it'll go to the Feb, right? So automatically this keeps on populating, right? So this is what I did. Rest is I've just written all the values. Now here I have concatenated this with the month, and the C4 exactly nothing but the C4 is my this cell where I'm selecting. If I want to look at the January numbers, I can look at the January numbers, and the January number Jan would be here. Now Jan has nothing to do with this. This is a weekly performance. This is the performance according to the date, according to the week, whatever I select, and this is the number which I can choose. Doesn't necessary that it has to be a January over here, since the dates are the weeks are belongs to the January. No, nothing like that, right? So I have created all this. As you can see here, this might be, I think now by now it it would start looking it might have started looking very easy for you, and that's the motive actually of this video. Now what you exactly want is you want to set up your data in an order so that you can actually automate these tasks, right? So now I have a picture in my mind. Maybe you can set up the data in a different way. So I know that my raw is here, right? So my raw is here. So what I'm going to do is exactly, for example, I need that these data points should auto populate according to the date. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use the index function, right? So what index is going to do is index is going to find out the row of this fixed deposit for me in this table, and fixed deposit he would get here somewhere here, right? And then thereafter I will actually say that go to the column number which my this date would fall, right? So this video will not talk about the index, and this is something which I might be discussing in some another video, but I assume that the index function, and index exactly works on the row and column parameters. Specifically people who actually have taken the training from me, they would definitely understand this, and people who are watching this video for the first time, or maybe who are my subscribers but they are not actually aware of this function, no problem, we'll do this right away. Index actually we are actually going to use this index on the very first parameter. This says the table array. You need to select the table, and in that table you need to find out the row number of this fixed deposit, and then after you find the row number, you need to tell that what exactly the column is. So I'll say that wherever you find this 29th of January, you are actually supposed to return that column number for me. So eventually I'll get, you know, the value for the fixed deposit. So let's start this. We'll start with the index, and this is a bank A data, so I know that the bank A data will start from here. So I'll simply select this entire table, you know, till 31st of December, and now here I need to give the row number, right? So what row number will I choose? Now I have this the parameter here is fixed deposit. So in my this table, this is the first row, second row, third row, fourth row, and this is going to be the fifth row. So I'll say fifth, okay, and then the column number. So what now, your Excel will roam around on, you know, on this row, which is the fixed row. Now this entire row has so many columns, you need to specifically tell that where exactly to stop, right? So if I see that that what exactly is my date which I have selected, which is 29th of January, so 29th of January would be somewhere here. I'll have to see it. That's my 29th of January, right? So the column number would be, I really don't have any idea about this column number, but what I can do is maybe, you know, I can actually write some manual number for the time being, and let's say I'll say this is going to be this 29, so I'll say that maybe 32 and press enter. Now I get this number, but this number might not be correct. So let's quickly check what is the column number for the 29th of January. So what I'll do is, my table starts from here, so I'll move like this, and as you can see in the address bar it says 18C, 19C, and I keep on moving so until I reach 29th of January. And now 29th of January, this is my 30th column, right? You can have a look here. This is my 30th column, right? So 30th column means that I'll have to write here, we were actually very close, 30th, right? So you got here the value, and obviously I don't want this format, so I'll just turn it back to this, and I'll give this number this formatting, right? And there has to be no color, so what I'll do is I'll say that, so I'm getting some you know, here some might be conditional formatting. Let me just check. Let's just clear this from the entire sheet. Yeah, so that was the conditional formatting. I don't know from where it came, but anyways I deleted that. So now 1334 is a number which I can see here, 11, which is exactly this number, right? Now you can't go to every cell and you know, you start finding their row and the column. So in order to do that, we'll use the index with the match. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this row number by the formula, which would be the match. So what it does is it will find this fixed deposit and this match formula, where I'll go in my this the raw, which is this, and I'll select that table, which is this table, and here it will actually going to find me the exact match. So it will return me the position for this, you know, this E9, which is my fixed deposit. And similarly now I'll again use the match, so we'll use two match with index, and I'll come back to this bank summary sheet, and this time I'll match this G7, which is my date, in my table, which is this, right? This is my table, only this, because it has all the dates and I need the exact match, and I'll press enter, right? So we'll say this. So we got the value, and let's freeze the table now. Wherever the table you have, you need to freeze this. So match E9 will also be freezed, match E9 will be freezed. I'll freeze this E, not the 9, because next time I want the match to be done on the insurance and investment and so on, right? So I'll again freeze this. This is my table, and in G7, which is my date, I want that it should freeze only the, you know, the row number, so that it should, next time when I paste the formula here, it should pick actually you know, 5th of February. And similarly over here I'll just, you know, this is something, I'll freeze this, right? So that's how I got the value. Now let's try to copy paste this. Alright, so we got the numbers. Awesome, we got the numbers, guys, right? And similarly now this time, so these values are available here. Similarly you can use this index in a similar way over here in the bank B, but the range of your bank B would not be now the previous one, it would be this table, right? I hope you understand that point. So I'm not gonna work on that because that's simply a repetition of what we exactly did, right? So similarly, you can auto populate all these numbers. Now let's see whether the numbers are changing or not. So if I, let's say, put the 5th of 5th of February, so you can see here that okay, let me just change this to 26. The numbers are changing. Awesome, right? The numbers are automatically populating, right? So now come to the March, and in this March you want that till 31st of March, whatever the you have done, the business you have done, it should be actually reflected here. So what you can do is, in this raw sheet, either you can do one thing, guys. Let me just tell you, you can on weekly basis, on every 7 days, you can create a insert a column. And what you can do is, you can do something this kind of a stuff. This is a, let's say, equals to week of, and then put it in the string and use this date F3. So what will happen is, it will give you a good amount of idea that you have this week. Now in order to change this into date, just use this function and use this YY, right? Let's check. I hope you are fine with that. Alright, we are fine with that, right? So first, maybe I can, instead of using this, I can use the slash, something like this, right? So this is a week, and maybe we'll remove this. So that's how you can get this function applied. And so what else you can do, maybe you can put this triple D, not triple D but mm. What will happen is, you'll get this Jan, right? So you'll get this Jan, and over here maybe I can put one more D, and here I can put this 4 times. So this is how week of Jan 1st, it says that it has a week of Jan. Now what you can do is, you can sum up all these numbers, because this is going to tell you exactly the sum, and just drag this formula from here and you'll get this, right? And just copy this and go to the paste special, Alt ES, and do this formatting, so that your data should look nice. Now what you need to do is, similarly on this 14, starting from 8, 9, 10 and 7 days, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just create a one more column, and just copy this formula and put it here, right? So as you can see here, it has picked Jan 8th, right? That's how you can actually create. So maybe I don't like this slash. I really, it's not looking good. So maybe we can do this kind of stuff, and instead of 2015 I can say this. This looks better, right? So just copy this and paste this. Okay, rest of the things all this will be picked. So I have a sum of now this all the numbers in the second week, and similarly you can go ahead here and you can create another column from here, right? So this process keeps on moving. Let me show you a couple of more weeks like this. Let's build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's my 7. I'll insert, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then after 29th I'll again create this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm just counting actually if they are correct or not. So similarly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and let's do this here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's how you can create this entire structure. And what you can do is, now you just need to copy this, just copy this and keep on pasting it here. Okay, you will keep on getting the weeks. This would look nice, like this, and then again here until your end of the sheet. And similarly, just ensure that below also you have there the formula pasted. So since this header should not be repeated, header would work for me, just a one header. What I can do is, I can simply go ahead and paste this formula here, right? So it will automatically pick this range for me, as you can see here, right? So it's quite simple actually, just need to be very stylish, and this actually will make your work very easy. Just keep on pasting. I'm just pasting this formula, and you will keep on getting these sum. If I press F2 here, just just to show you, you can see here that this has exactly summing up these numbers. Now where exactly we are going to use this? So you can do actually one thing. You can group them. You can group them like this. Select this and go to the data tab and group this. Say group. Now this is going to group, as you can see on this side. If I click here, it will close this, right? And if I click on here, anyone can actually view this. So this actually looks very nice, and similarly what you can do here, you can again come here and group it. So let me just group this, and similarly you can come here over here and you can group this. I keep on grouping it, right? That's just a one-time effort, but of course if your boss will like your this project, definitely I think your efforts, your time, your pain, everything would be paid off. So just group this. Now this is what you can do with the group. You can always combine these data points, as you can see here, right? So I have all the weeks here collected. It looks very nice. So you have the option of expanding them whenever you want. So and one thing more, maybe you can just do one thing, auto fit it so that it looks nice. Now this, click here. So every week is getting compiled. So similarly you can compile this as well. Like this, and then again you can compile this, you can group this. So you keep on doing this exercise, right, until you reach to the 31st December. So this will help you in order to whatever the week you want to select. You want to check for the week January 22nd, you can click here and you can check the numbers, right, and you can just get it back to the original position. And one thing you can do is you can definitely give them a different kind of a color. For example, what you can do is maybe you can give them any sort of this color, maybe, I don't know, I mean just take your best assumption. And right now I'm just using this option, okay, and I'm going to format this, I'm going to format this, I'm going to format this, I'm going to format this one by one, so that I should actually distinguish where my week ends, right? So this is how you can prepare this, and whenever you click, it will expand and you can check all the dates for the falling starts after 8th of January. So just check the numbers and then again close this. If you want to check here, you can check from here as well, right? So this is how you can actually play around with this, and this is actually a very nice option. And if you want to expand every week, you just click on this button. You see that 1 and 2, these are already created. So if you press 1, this will be clubbed together, and if you press on this will be expanded. So you can check all the numbers immediately with this one step. Otherwise you can do you can be selective and you can choose these options one by one. Now the point what we actually want is what we were actually thinking of, that we want these numbers month on month. So what I did is maybe you can create another sheet, and where you have can write all these bank A, bank B, bank C numbers, and quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and Jan, Feb, and so on, right? So from here what you can do is you can simply link these numbers, right? So what would be the output for the bank A? Obviously it would be sum of this. Go to the bank A, which is my this first, right? And now let's find out the January 31st. So January 31st would be here. That's the January, right? So what you can do is you can sum all these numbers, okay, and you can get these numbers over here. Similarly for the Feb, March, April, May, June, July, you can actually go to each cell and you can check their the number, whatever the number you want to populate it. If you want that if you want the sum from 1st till Jan 31st, then that can also be done. Then you need to actually you need to sum up these numbers starting from these ranges. You can do that, sum up all this and then this, and whatever the dates you have in between this week of this Jan 8 and Jan 15, and you can sum them up, right? So you can set up a formula there, right? So that's again a different requirement. I'm not going to get into that, right? So I just explained you that you can create a separate sheet here where this can be we can use the direct formula here. And similarly for the quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, what we can do is, we know that Jan, Feb, March, these are the months which will have a sum. So you can again create a sum over here in this raw file, and you can take all the sum from this first these all dates. Let me just expand this. So what you can do is, you select this range and then you exclude this week, right? You select this range, or maybe you can do one thing. You can directly add these numbers, one for example some sort of this. If I need the quarter, I know that my quarter would be of this week, and then thereafter this week, because this will remain as it is. They are never going to change. Week will always have 7 days, right? So you keep on selecting these cells like this, and again select all the dates till March 31st, like this, like this. Now you may not have a month, a week which ends with exactly 31st. So what you can do is, you can manually select the dates there, right? Like this. And you keep on selecting all the dates once you will have all this setup, right? So once you have the numbers popped up here according to these parameters, what you can do is, you can simply link this cell, these cells according to this whatever the month you will select here, right? For example, let me just try to show you. You have a March here, right? So let's say your formula has worked something like this. These are the numbers which it is showing, and so on, right? So what you can do here is, you can find this again using the index function, find the row number for this bank A, and then whatever the column index number you have here for the month of March. So come back here, and here instead of this month, make it simple, which is only March, because your original data does not have March month. So maybe you can say this. Now use the index function and go to this quarterly row and select this entire table. And now what I want to do is, I want to give the row number. So my row number would be for my bank A, right? So I'll come back here and I say that match this bank A, right? And then in the bank A, you need to match what? You need to match this in this table, so that I should get the second row, and I want the exact match. And close the formula, and then for the column, you can go back here again, match. This is very important, and you should actually match this with this whatever the month you will select here, and go back to your quarterly row and select this table now, and it will give you the column number for the March, like this, and press enter. So you'll get this 666. So let's see that if we got the correct number. Of course we got the correct number, 666. So this is how you can make this formula dynamic, and your dashboard will automatically auto-populate the numbers. So if user will select, let's say April, you can see here that it is actually going to automatically check the number 24. So if you see that we have the 24 and the next number is 66. So let's do the test for that as well. So I don't have I think the complete list here, because it talks about May, and we have not actually got here May, right? So maybe if I would have the May, then it is actually going to work. So let me check the list range. This is my list range, B8 to B19. So alright, so I have actually given this white font so that user should not be able to see that. So what I'll do is Jan, Feb, March, April, and I'll write here May, and June. Okay, and let's put this back in the without italic, and now we'll have the May month here. Now select the May month and you'll get this 66, right? So similarly you just freeze this table wherever it is required. So I'm gonna freeze this D19 D19 and here we are actually doing, I guess, some mistake. So D19, yeah, it's D19 actually. D9 to D14 is picking up, that's fine. Quarterly row is again my table, and this is the most important part, M7, which is my date. So down the line it should always remain M7. So I'm freezing the row. Let me freeze the entire thing, and here as well, and here as well, right? So now what I want to do is okay, so we matched this bank A, but bank A is not. That's my mistake, guys. We actually supposed to find the row number for the fixed deposit, right? So since I have not written here the fixed deposit, you know, I have written here the bank A and the bank B, so you might not be matching the row number for these fixed deposit, but instead bank A. And so what you can do is you can, you know, create this like this, merge, and this is going to be the target, right? And similarly you paste this here, and let's check now. Let me just copy this formula here and let me just paste this here. So you'll get the 66 again. Let's check if we got the correct entry or not. Alright, so I don't have the formula here. Let me just copy the formula. Okay, and here I'll simply say equals to and control V and press enter. So it's actually is returning me error. So let's first find out whether we have the bank B here or not in this sheet. So we have the bank B, and now let's check. Okay, so this is, I have freezed actually. This is something wrong which I did, so I need to actually change this to this bank B, right? Yeah, so now you got the 677, right? So 677 is what is my target. This is what I need to check. Yeah, this is my target, as you can see, bank B, right? So what I did actually is I freeze the column, right? I shouldn't have done that. You know, this one where it is actually matching my this, you know. Now this cell is D9, so ideally this should have been like this, right? And this again should be like this, you know, some sort of this thing. Remove this and check that whether you have this as a, this is a D16, so it has to be D16, right? And then you can further do this stuff, right? So color them, maybe if you want to color, and this is how, you know, you can actually prepare a very good dashboard. Color, choose whatever color you want to choose and whatever the grid lines you can you know, give. So let me just put it back to the white font. So that's it for now, guys. I hope this will give you further more understanding. This is more of an intermediate level of a you know, dashboard. Previously I talked about the two dashboards which are the basic one, but do watch them. And if you like the video, just don't forget to click on the like, and if you have any questions, just write me an email. That's my email ID. Look at the formula bar. Don't look at that you're not able to see the text, because I have actually, the font is white. Alright, so I just converted it back, right? So that's my email ID, guys, and let me know how do you think about this dashboard. And you know, I hope this has actually helped you a lot today. You have gained a, you know, good amount of knowledge in terms of making the dashboards, right? So thank you so much. I'll come up with some more videos on the art of making dashboards. Till then, enjoy videos and be awesome in Excel. Thank you so much. Bye bye.